Hey there, everyone. I'm so stoked to be doing the very second of our special Collect All Monsters 5-point inspection reviews. Of course, I'm going to review this awesome Mondo Premium Tokyo SOS statue that the kind folks at Mondo were awesome enough to send to us so we can review it for you guys. The concept design is by Francisco Francavaglia and our good friend of the show, Hector Arce. It's painted by Hector, and it's an amazing paint job. It's sculpted by a talented artist named Tommy Hodges. And the box art, which I absolutely love, is again by Francisco Francavaglia. The base is 15 inches in diameter, and it's an awesome base. It's sort of a destroyed cityscape base. The height of the figure is 16 inches. However, if you count the tip of Mothra's tail, if you choose the Mothra attacking Godzilla's tail option, it's going to be a whopping 20 inches tall. The width of the entire piece is 17 inches. The edition size of this particular figure is going to be limited to 600 pieces. The material that they use is a high quality polystone resin, and the retail price of this figure is $585. Now, you may think that's a little bit high, but if you put it in perspective for just a second, X Plus gigantic figures are about the same price, give or take. Some of these designer Sofubi figures are that price and then some, but you can judge for yourselves after you see this review. So let's talk a little bit about what you're going to get when you purchase this awesome statue. Of course, you're going to get Godzilla himself. You're going to get 2 Mothra larvas that are beautifully sculpted. You're going to get an awesome destroyed cityscape base, and you're going to get a lot of options for Godzilla's head. When you change these options out, it's very easy to switch by the use of magnets and pins. What I have here in this particular incarnation is it's almost closed mouth, and you guys know me, I love a closed mouth Godzilla, but you can also do an open mouth if you prefer that look. You can also do something pretty unique that Mondo gives you. The bottom jaw has a piece of Mothra's ripped off leg in his mouth, which is kind of cool. And then if that's not enough, you can also use an alternative whole entire head that you can switch out that has Godzilla firing his atomic heat ray. The ray itself is in a light blue translucent material, which is really cool. And one more thing you can do that's pretty cool is you can actually swap out the Mothra larva on Godzilla's tail and have Mothra sort of hang out on this building on the side of the diorama. And there's an alternate tail tip that you can put on there so that there's really nothing on Godzilla's tail. So it's pretty cool. There's a lot of different options you can do. You get a lot for your money, people. It's really, really worth it. Let's get right into our special Collect All Monsters 5-point inspection review. Number 1, we're going to talk about the style points. I need to give this a pretty high score because of the sheer size and dynamic pose of this figure. It depicts a particular scene right out of the film. It's a real showstopper. As far as style goes, I'm going to give it a 5. Number 2 is Show Me the Money. Now here's where I couldn't give it a perfect score because it is a little bit expensive, but it's definitely worth it because of all of the things that come with this statue that I already talked about makes it worth the price tag of $585. I'm going to give this one a 4 for Show Me the Money, just because it might be just a little bit too expensive for certain collectors, but you can always save up for it and you will not regret getting this piece. Okay, so let's talk about number 3, which is the monster aesthetic. And I interpret that as how well it sort of emotes the character, the Kiryu Goji. And I'm going to give this high points too. The paint application by Hector Arce, it's just amazing. The sculpting of the Mothra larvas, the base, the destroyed city base, it's just really, really great. So I'm going to give this the highest I can give it for 5 points for monster aesthetic. So let's talk about number 4, which is production quality. And again, Got to give it a pretty high score. Everything was packaged perfectly. Came in a bigger box that sort of had those black buffer pieces, so nothing would move around on the inside. When I took the pieces out of the styrofoam, everything was completely intact. Not one dorsal plate was broken or cracked. So I was really, really impressed with that. Again, we could talk about the beautiful box art. I typically throw away my boxes for my collectibles. I will not be throwing this away because it's so beautiful. The pieces themselves fit together so perfectly. So I got to give it the highest score. So I'm going to give it another 5 for production quality. So in our infinite wisdom, the folks at Collect All Monsters, we added one extra category, number 5, which is dealer's choice, where the person reviewing the item gets to sort of give a special impression that they get from the particular piece. I just can't say enough good things about this. Pictures do not do this justice. Number 1, it's imposing, it's big, it's got a dynamic pose, or should I say poses that you can switch out. There aren't that many depictions of the Kiryu Goji out there. So I'm really happy that there's one out there that I can display and be the center of my collection. My impression of this figure is I love it, so I give it 5 points. Well, that brings us to the end of the review. And my final score, 24 out of 25, which is a pretty damn good score. Thanks again for watching. If you have one, I would love to hear your opinion in the comments. Please give us a like and subscribe, and always check out the show. Stay tuned for the next one. Who knows what we'll be reviewing next? Cheers.